welcome back to Making It with Minglet. Today we're working on page 3, and as you can see I have a collage, and those are bits and pieces from my friend Karen McCoy, and I'm going to use up the white paint that remains from where I did the splatter, so that I can get kind of a white surface here, or at least blend these edges together a little bit, soften them. You see, I've sewn this piece, so I do have lots of texture on it, which is good. We like texture. Alright, that's softened up. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I have pulled out some bits and pieces that I think will go with this. While that's drying, we are going to go to, I'm going to pop up on my phone, I'm going to pop up my Pinterest account, and I'm going to go to my quotes. When I'm going through Pinterest and I find things that I like, I try to put them in the proper folder, and I've been saving these quotes for a long time, and this is the place where I've decided I'm going to use them. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy scrolling. It takes a little while for my eyes to say, okay, I know what you are. Alright, let's see. Quotes. Quotes. There we go. Okay. Oh, another Albert Einstein. Once you stop learning, you start dying. That's a little bit more, but I'd rather be a little bit upbeat. So let's try this one. Oh, this is not bad. It says, I am always doing what I cannot do yet in order to learn how to do it. And that's a quote from Vincent van Gogh. So I think that could be a useful one. I think that one will work. So let me get this dried. I do not want to get I don't want to listen to a hair dryer. Okay, while that's drying, maybe I can build something. So we're going to hold this quote out. That's going to go in this white area right here. And what I'm thinking of for the page, I have this piece of, this was a coaster actually that I brought back from the UK, and I've used the top layer, and all that's left is the waxy paper. It was what the cups were sitting on. But I feel today might be today. It might be its turn, so I am going to fold it neatly and see if these will line up. I think they will. Excuse me, I'm getting over the crud. It's not what I want to be doing, but it's what's happening. All right. Now let's see if we can get the glue open. There we go. I'm going to use just art glitter glue, and you can see my bottle is very dirty. It's almost empty too. I put a big old bottle in my Amazon cart today. It's amazing how quickly that stuff adds up. And I'm gonna glue it to itself because I don't want to use this. I don't want this to be a fold over because that waxy stuff, I don't know that it'll work really well. I'm thinking about going about like this. Yeah, I think I will use that mark right there. And that paint is not quite dry yet, but that's okay. I think we'll be fine with this. Part of the thing about these 100-day challenges, this is the first one I've done, and I don't want to get bogged down in overthinking. I want it to be something that I can come and do, and it can be quick and easy and fun. That's the main thing. I pulled out some scraps, and I found this that I'd already made like out of scraps off my desk. I've got that part, and that is not bad. Got to decide if I want it to how I want it to sit on it. I think I'll match. This is the flat edge, so I'm going to match that edge up. We'll just go ahead and put some glue on that. All right. And there we have it, right there. Now, I thought about this, but I realize now that that would not be a complete flower. It's like a part of a flower. But I also run across this right here. And I kind of like the way these flowers look. They're a little bit, they're kind of busy, but I'm going to try fussy cutting and see what I get out of part of it. And that they have been outlined in white, so that may make it very easy to adapt it to a size that will fit in my space here. And I'm not going to use all of that stem right there. I'm going to just go ahead and cut that part off and focus on more of the flowers that are kind of the same size. Alright, that'll give me less to work with right there. Okay, cut. I'm not a fan of fussy cutting too much. I can do it a little bit, but I don't like to do it a lot. So I tend not to fussy cut things in advance. I know I love the way that Darcy has stuff already cut, and she's like the queen of fussy cutting for me. She's always got some cool things, laying in her stash. And I do have some fun things in my stash, but I've been trying to work on getting those things organized so that when I want something, I know exactly where I need to go to get it, and that is where my challenge comes in. I don't know that I'm quite that good yet. Now, since I've got blue, I may not have to cut all of that out. I may be able to leave that little bit there. I think if I put it right there, it's going to show up nicely. So let's go ahead and we're going to add the glue. And this was just a scrap from some of the papers I got from my neighbor who passed away. Her daughters allowed me to go in and make some selections, and I was able to get a lot of really neat stuff. So here's to Pat. and her art, crafty things that we were able to get to use. Now, I think that flows very nicely, and it doesn't have to have a whole lot. Alright, that acrylic paint is dry, so let's get our quote up here, and let's decide what we want to use as far as writing. Do we want to use a blue pen, or let me see. Yeah, I think that might be nice. I am always doing what I can not do yet. In order to learn how to do it. And that's going to be Van. I know I should put his full name, but when I think of him, I just think of Van Gogh. Alright, so here it is. I am always doing what I cannot do yet in order to learn how to do it. And we added this little piece here, and that's going to look nicely on the page 2. And I'm wondering about if I should add some stenciling right here. Let's see what I can find. I've got some floral stenciling. Got some florals that might just do. Yeah, I like that. And I've got to decide what kind of paint I want to use. I don't think I want to use that same white, but I kind of wonder if I could use this blue right here. And that might be a little bit stark, but that's okay. And the next thing is, how am I going to apply it? I think it will look like a little. I just want it very faint. So I'm going to bleed my brush out a little bit so that I do not add too much, because it's supposed to be just like a hint or a suggestion. I don't want it to be overpowering by no means. Oh, I like that. I think that's kind of neat. I think I'll bring it down here a little bit. Quick, easy, and fun. That's the way I like to art. somebody had told me 30 years ago I'd be sitting here playing and creating art, I don't know that I would have thought about that for myself, but yeah, art's been in my life for a long time. My mother always had that artistic side, and I have several aunts that are now gone, but they painted beautiful things, and lots of my cousins are very talented as far as being able to paint or do things like that. But it's not exactly, not always my thing, so just a hint, a shadow. I like it. I'm very pleased with this. So I'm not going to do anything else to it. So day 3 out of 100. I am always doing what I cannot do yet in order to learn how to do it. So that is our page 3. Tomorrow we will be working on this page, and who knows how it will be transformed. But I hope you'll come along with me. If you haven't hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, if you'll subscribe, you'll get the notifications when these videos have been uploaded. Again, thank you for coming by and spending time with me. I hope you'll maybe get inspired to do something yourself. Until next time, my friends, be well. Bye-bye.